Hey, what's going on, guys? So this is definitely one of my stranger videos, but this is a topic that I've not necessarily wanted to talk about, but it is a topic that is frequently on my mind. So I just thought, what the hell, let's put these thoughts into a video. Maybe somebody will find this interesting or relatable. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. You know, there's been plenty of times where I've stumbled upon a random video on YouTube of somebody sharing their thoughts on a particular topic, and I found it interesting. So maybe someone will find this interesting. I don't know. But anyways, topic of the video, getting older, aging, growing up. Jesus Christ, you know there's a content drought for Halo when I'm making a video like this. Nah, but in all seriousness, I'm someone who constantly thinks about my age. You know, just that thought of getting older, it seems like that is on my mind all day, every day. Well, maybe not all day, but I think about it multiple times throughout each day. And not in a positive way. Like, I'm not optimistic and hopeful for the future. You know, when I think about the future, I'm seeing something bleak and dark. You know, I have come to realize that things are just gonna go downhill from here on out. Well, not from here on out, from a couple years ago on out. See, this has been on my mind for the last, like, I don't know, seven years. You know, there was this moment, and I remember it very vividly. I was 17, kind of like 17 and a half. And I remember one day I was just sitting in my room, and all of a sudden it just clicked. I realized, holy shit, I'm about to be an adult. And that's it. The glory days are gone. We're here. We're an adult now. That is a very clear memory of mine that I've never forgotten. And looking back now, I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking. When I was 18, I genuinely felt old as shit. I felt so old at 18. Genuinely, I really did. And looking back now, being 25 currently, I mean, 18, that's young as can be. So, you know, it's kind of disturbing to me when I think back to that moment. A couple months before I turned 18, and I realized, wow, I'm about to be an adult. And I kind of accepted defeat and gave up in a way. And from there on out, I've always had these awful, discouraging thoughts. Thoughts like that was it. Like that was the end. Like I had lived my life, and now we're done. And like I said, I have a lot of regrets, but I really do regret having that mindset, especially back when I was 17, 18, 19, 20, like those were still all young years. And I was living in this mindset as if I was old as shit and life was complete. But at the same time, in a way, I wasn't exactly wrong, because the best years of my life are over. I realize that. And I mean, it's not something like, you know, it's not something that gets me down. Like I can accept that. I have accepted that. But you know, it's still on my mind. I still think about that. But yeah, the best days are behind me, are behind a lot of us. You know, currently there's a lot of people who are kind of depressed and not too hopeful for the future just because it's 2020 and all the crazy shit that's been going on. But for me, nothing about 2020 has really gotten me down or affected my mental state or anything like that. But 2020 has nothing to do with the way I feel right now. I mean, I've had these thoughts for a while. You know, a couple years back, maybe like 2 years ago or something like that, I remember I put out a question on Twitter. I forget what it was word for word, but basically I was asking, is there anybody who is over 20 who is genuinely happier in their life now than when they were younger than 20 or something like that? And it's not like I got a ton of responses on that, but the responses that I did get, I was actually kind of surprised to see multiple people said they are happier now being older than 20 than they were years ago. Now, everybody's life is different. I mean, you could have had a shitty upbringing and things didn't get better until you were older. You know, everybody has different lives. I understand that. But you know, how I see it in my mind is even if I had a really shitty childhood and things didn't improve until I was like 20, then I would just be thinking, okay, yeah, life might be better now at 20, but life had the potential to be better when I was a child. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's say I was happier than I've ever been right now at 25 years old. I would realize that, yeah, I may be happier than I've ever been at 25, but it's not like things are better because I'm 25. Like I said, maybe I just had a shitty life up until 25. Maybe things didn't get better until I was 25 years old. Like, if that was the case for me, I wouldn't just sit here and act like, oh yeah, life is great. Nah, I would just be sitting here thinking about the past and how it could have been the best years of my life. And I know people say, like, you know, don't live in the past is the past, you know, you can't change it, don't worry about what you can't change. But you know, like, just because you can't change something, it doesn't mean you're not going to worry about it. You know, like the fact that I can't change something that really bothers me, that makes me worry more, because now I know, holy shit, there's nothing you can do about it. So you're worrying about something, and then when people say, oh, just, you know, you can't change it, so just don't worry about it. This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. You mean to tell me I can't change something that's really bothering me? Holy shit, now I'm gonna worry more. But anyways, that's kind of how my mind works. I'm trying to explain this the best I can. I have a bunch of thoughts in my head right now, and sometimes it's hard to put them in words. And you know, one of the main reasons that I say your younger years have the potential to be your best years is, well, mainly because of that innocence you have as a child. And when I say child, I'm not just talking like 7 or 8 years old. I'm talking like all the way up until 18, just to clarify. You know, when you're younger, you're kind of naive and you don't know a whole lot about the world. Like, basically what I'm trying to say is you're in a whole different mindset. And once you grow up, once you learn about the world and you understand things better, that might cause you to enjoy things less. Now, I guess I can understand why some people find themselves enjoying life more at an older age, but it has to do a lot with what you value in life. Like, for example, maybe you're someone who is big on starting a family, right? You get married, you have a kid, you're living the family life. I guess I can understand how somebody like that would enjoy life more being older and having started a family. I mean, most likely you're a part of a family when you're younger, but you don't start your own family until you're older. But you know, for the people who aren't into all that, they don't really care to start a family, and maybe they also don't care about a lot of the perks that come with growing up. You know, there's some people that value the things that come with being younger a whole lot more than they value the things that come with getting older. And, you know, as you get older, some of those things are left in the past and they are not coming back. They can't come back. And I'm sorry if this isn't making sense, because like I said, sometimes it's difficult to put my thoughts into words. Like, I know what I'm talking about, but I don't know if I'm conveying it to you guys as best I can, but hopefully I'm doing an all right job. But anyways, speaking of things that can't come back, you know, that's another thing that you deal with as you get older. People die. And you know, that's a really big part of why I have a hard time understanding how some people say life gets better. I don't get that. What do you mean it gets better? Like, you have to watch your loved ones die. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm someone, like, I can cope with death fine, right? Like, of course it's sad, but it doesn't destroy me when, a loved one dies. But, like, it's just, I can't wrap my head around how life could possibly get better when you have to watch all your loved ones die. I don't get it. I do not understand that. I don't know, maybe death isn't as hard on those who weren't really close with their family, but pretty much everybody has people they care about, and you're most likely going to have to watch some of them go as you grow up. And like I said, I don't get how life could possibly get better when you lose your loved ones as you get older. I mean, especially if you have no intentions of starting a family. Like, that's another thing. Like, some people, when they get older, they start their own family. Now, yeah, it's still incredibly hard on them when they lose a loved one. And I don't want to make it sound like I'm saying, oh, their new family is replacing their old family so they the death isn't as hard on them. No, that's not what I'm saying. But I am saying that there are new loved ones coming into your life that you didn't meet until you were older. And because of them, that might give you some, purpose to keep trucking along. But then there's some people who don't have any real intentions of meeting people, starting a family. And as they grow up, as they get older, their loved ones start to pass away, and it's like you don't really have anyone new coming in. Not that that would make it any easier to cope with the loss of a loved one, but it is kind of like this one-way thing. Like, people are going out, you don't really have anybody else coming in. And I don't want you guys to think I'm complaining or anything like that. I'm not. I understand there's many others who have similar thoughts. I'm just putting my thoughts out there. That's all. So yeah, these are my thoughts on getting older, growing up. And like I said, these are things that are on my mind at every day. I think about this every day throughout the day. I can't shake the thought of this. I'm constantly thinking about how I'm aging, how I'm getting older and older and older. Oh, there's another day that went by, another day. And I know no one likes to get older. I understand that. I'm not saying this is a unique issue with me. Like, nobody likes to get older. But I guess I have this problem with shaking this thought. Like, I think other people do a better job at distracting themselves with other things in life and suppressing these thoughts. But for me, it's on my mind all the fucking time. I'm constantly thinking about it. I literally think about it like every fucking day. Like, I'm getting older and older and older and older. Like, and I'm not scared of death. That's not it. Like, I mean, I used to be scared of death, but I'm really not. I'm not scared of dying, but I am scared. Not scared, but I don't like the thought of getting older. Like, that's the thing. And I mean, it's like it's a pretty big fear, if I'm being honest. Like, some people, as they grow up, and they might joke about their age, joke about being older. I do as well, but like, fuck, man, it terrifies me. It's so scary. I'm fucking 25. I don't know how I'm gonna cope with being 30. I mean, it's gonna happen, but I mean, I don't know. That scares the shit out of me, just the thought of that. And it scares a lot of people. Like, I know I'm not the only one. I'm not claiming I am. But yet there are some people who would claim they're happier than they've ever been in their older years, and it doesn't seem like age really affects them that much. And, some people say things like age is just a number, or it's never too late. But sometimes it is too late. It is too late to do certain things as you get older. Or maybe it's not entirely too late, but it would have been much, much better, more enjoyable to have done those things when you were younger. So I may have many regrets, And sure, maybe I can still do some of those things now. Some of those things I can't. Some of those things are done. I'm never getting that back. And you just got to accept that. But other things that I could still do now, it's like, the ship has kind of sailed. And it would have been a overall better experience if I would have done these things back in the day. And for example, what I mean when I say like the ship has sailed on certain things, it's too late, is, I've always had an interest in skateboarding. I was never really good. I knew the basics, the ollies, the kickflips, the pop shove-its, the varial, just the basics. And I'm still interested in skateboarding, but part of the reason that I don't do it much anymore is because I'm older, because I'm 25. I mean, yeah, I could still do it, but most people skateboarding when they're 25 are the ones who started when they were much younger, and at this point in their life, they'd be, amazing. They'd be incredible at skateboarding. And I'm not so concerned about my skill level. I don't care how good I am. If I enjoy something, I enjoy it. But hey, let's say I did want to become an extremely good skateboarder. Like, let's say that was my goal. If that was my goal, it would be extremely discouraging just to start now at 25 when I basically like I said, I only know the basics. If I genuinely wanted to achieve that goal, that's something I should have started back when I was like a kid, 10 years old or something. I should have started skating then and been skating consistently up until this point here. And then maybe I would have achieved that goal. And I just use skateboarding as an example, but this could be with, you could, insert whatever sport or activity that you want. There's some things that you would have been much better off starting several years ago as you were growing up. And I know I'm keeping it kind of vague here. I'm not really getting into specifics, but there are definitely some things where you would have been much better off doing them when you were younger. Maybe it's not possible anymore. The ship has sailed. It's too late. So I think that's just about it. This was a weird video. I'd be lying if I said I didn't record similar videos like this multiple times before that I've never uploaded. But I am gonna put this one out. I'm not complaining. Like I said, I'm just throwing my thoughts out there. Maybe somebody will find this interesting or relatable or comical. I don't know, whatever way you take it. I want to know what you guys think. What are your thoughts on this? How do you feel about growing up? I mean, it sounds like that would be, unanimously, that would be a terrible thing. But I think the act of getting older affects some more than others mentally. And I think I'm definitely one of those people, whether I like it or not, where it is always on my mind. Like I said, this stuff doesn't break me down and prevent me from doing things that I know of. Maybe subconsciously it does, that I'm not even aware of. But as far as I'm aware, I don't let these thoughts affect my day-to-day a whole lot. They're just thoughts, and I keep them as that. And the last point that I really want to drive home is that I understand that things can get better, and I understand there are, there's still a ton of things I haven't done, that I have yet to do. Like right now, I'm kind of living the same life I've been living for a while now, without much change. And I'm not the type of guy who thinks, there needs to be change for the sake of change, but sometimes things just get less interesting the more you do them. Things that were fun and really interesting several years ago, they're kind of dull now. The more and more you do something, the less enjoyable it becomes over time. I think that's the case for a lot of people, maybe not everyone. But yeah, I understand, there's still so much I haven't done. There's still a lot of things to enjoy going forward, but the things that I value most, the things that I will always value most, are all things that were a part of my younger years. So again, want to make it clear one more time, I'm not complaining or crying about anything. I'm just, sharing with you what's been on my mind pretty much every day for a while now. Since, like I said, when I was about to turn 18, that's when I started having these thoughts and had them ever since, and I will continue to have them. But yeah, that's going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think about all this, and I will see you on the next one. Peace out, everybody.